a lot of authors don't like to claim there was an actual message they were trying to say, and I think that's a way of, if somebody interprets their book differently, of saying, hey, that's totally fine. And many people do interpret my book differently, but most people seem to understand what I was trying to say was, you never, and Hannah says this pretty clearly, she says, you never know what's going on in anyone's life but your own. So when you do something to somebody, whether it's good or bad, it will have an effect on them that's different than what you expected. And with Hannah, I think, and I like to cover the book because she seems like this average girl walking down the street. You wouldn't think anything was wrong with her. But in the end, she was going through a lot. And so a small slight, which somebody else may have been able to brush off, to her is much more devastating. So what was the question?
Do you have a message?
The message is that, you don't know what's going on in anyone's life, and that's why it's important to treat everybody with respect at all times. And there are other messages people got out of the book I didn't expect. I've heard from several people who pick up the book because they know it's about suicide, and that's something they've been considering. And they want to know what this person's perspective was. And a lot of people read it, they pick up on the things I was mentioning earlier, where Hannah contributes to her own downfall by pushing people away or not being totally open and honest with people who are trying to help her. And they get mad at her because they want her to live. They identify with her, they like her. And they come to the point where they say, how can I be mad at her when I'm doing the same thing? So I've heard from a lot of teens who say, this book made me realize what I was doing and made me reach out for help, which is an absolute, you can't say anything better to an author than that.
That's the biggest compliment you could get. So do you have any future plans?
Yes, I do. I'm working on another book that I'm hoping to have finished by the end of October or early November, which, as I said earlier, means it won't be out till next fall. I was hoping to have a book done earlier, but I didn't. So yeah, my next book, and it's a little more lighthearted than this. It definitely doesn't deal with as serious issues as suicide and bullying, but it deals with teen relationships and how complicated they can be and how many miscommunications there can be. And I guess for adults too, relationships are very difficult sometimes.